Welcome back to GameUltra. Today we're diving into something epic, the 10 absolute GOAT games. These aren't just good games, these are masterpieces that blew our minds, pushed gaming forward, and gave us experiences we'll never forget. We're talking about games that aren't just fun to play, but legit works of art that show what video games can really do. Get ready to relive some of the most incredible gaming moments ever created. Hollow Knight. Team Cherry's indie Metroidvania is basically a perfect game, packed into a tiny bug world that'll blow your mind. You play as a tiny knight exploring an underground kingdom of insects, fighting epic bosses, and uncovering a super dark story. The combat is super tight. You've got a nail, sword, and can bounce off enemies with a downward strike that feels amazing every single time. What makes this game special is how it does so much with so little. The hand-drawn art is gorgeous. The map is huge but never feels overwhelming. And you're constantly discovering new areas that make you go, whoa! The exploration feels amazing because you're always getting new abilities that let you reach places you couldn't before. And the best part? The game never holds your hand. You figure everything out by exploring, fighting bosses, and uncovering the mysterious world's secrets on your own. Ghost of Tsushima. Sucker Punch created the ultimate samurai adventure that makes you feel like a total badass defending Japan from Mongol invaders. You play as Jin Sakai, a samurai who has to completely change his warrior code to save his homeland. The combat is freaking awesome. You can fight with honor in standoffs or use sneaky ghost tactics to take down enemies. The world is probably the most beautiful game ever made, with wind blowing through golden fields, cherry blossoms flying around, and landscapes that look like living paintings. What's super cool is how the game lets you play exactly how you want. Want to be an honorable samurai? Do it! Want to be a sneaky assassin? That works too. The attention to detail is insane, from the way your character moves to how the environment reacts to your actions. It's basically the samurai game we've all dreamed about. Shadow of the Colossus. This game is basically art you can play. You're a young guy on a mission to bring a girl back to life by defeating 16 massive colossi in a huge, empty world. Each colossus is basically a moving puzzle. You have to figure out how to climb these massive creatures and find their weak spots. What makes this game incredible is how emotional and minimalist it is. There's almost no dialogue, just you, your horse, and these incredible landscapes. Each Colossus fight feels like an epic battle that means something, and the way the game makes you feel about what you're doing is totally unique. The graphics were mind-blowing for its time, and even now it looks incredible. Every single Colossi fight feels like a unique, epic moment that you'll remember forever. Dishonored. Arcane Studios created a stealth game that lets you be a supernatural assassin in the most creative ways possible. You play as Corvo, a bodyguard framed for murder who gets supernatural powers and seeks revenge. The coolest part? You can complete the entire game without killing anyone if you're skilled enough. The powers are crazy fun. You can teleport, possess people, slow down time, and combine these abilities in ways the developers probably never even imagined. Each level is like a huge puzzle where you can approach things however you want. Stealth, combat, or total chaos, the game adapts to how you play. The world feels like a dark, steampunk version of Victorian London, with a plague destroying the city and crazy political drama happening everywhere. Every single choice you make changes the world around you, making each playthrough feel totally unique.
Attention. Tomorrow's execution will be restricted to the personnel assigned to the event.
Good
and
for you.
approved
I
dignitaries
hated
only.
that guy.
The Last of Us. Naughty Dog basically created the most emotional zombie story ever, which is way more about humans than zombies. You play as Joel, a broken man protecting a young girl named Ellie as they travel across a destroyed America. The gameplay is super intense. Resources are super limited, so every fight feels like a real struggle for survival. What makes this game incredible is how it tells a story that feels more like an amazing movie or book than a typical video game. The characters feel completely real, with performances that are basically Oscar-worthy. The relationship between Joel and Ellie grows so naturally that you totally forget you're playing a game. Combat is brutal and feels like a real fight for survival, with craftable items and stealth that make every encounter super tense. Red Dead Redemption 2. Rockstar basically created the most detailed open-world game ever made. You play as Arthur Morgan, an outlaw in the final days of the Wild West, with a gang that feels like a real family. The level of detail is absolutely insane. Your clothes get dirty, your horse builds a real relationship with you, and every single NPC feels like a real person with their own life. The story is basically a Shakespeare-level tragedy about a guy realizing the world is changing and his lifestyle is dying out. You can do literally anything. Hunt animals, play poker, go fishing, or just ride around and enjoy the incredible landscapes. The combat feels amazing, the missions are super varied, and the way the world reacts to your actions is mind-blowing. It's not just a game, it's like a playable Western movie. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice. From Software created a ninja game that's basically the most intense sword-fighting experience ever. You play as a one-armed ninja trying to rescue his kidnapped lord, and the combat is all about perfect timing and precision. Unlike other Souls games, this is all about deflecting attacks and breaking enemy posture. One wrong move and you're dead. What makes Sekiro incredible is how it forces you to get good. You can't just level up and tank hits, you have to actually master the combat system. Each boss fight feels like an epic duel that tests everything you've learned. The world is a dark fantasy version of feudal Japan, with supernatural elements that make every encounter feel epic. When you finally beat a tough boss, you feel like an absolute gaming god. Elder Scrolls V. Skyrim. Bethesda created a fantasy world so massive and detailed that people are still playing it 10 years later. You're the Dragonborn, a legendary hero who can absorb dragon souls and use epic magic shouts. The coolest part is how you can do literally anything. Be a warrior, mage, thief, or mix it all up. Want to ignore the main quest and just explore? Go for it. Want to join a bunch of different guilds? Totally possible. The world feels alive with NPCs going about their daily lives, dragons randomly attacking, and secret quests hidden everywhere. The modding community has kept this game fresh for years, letting you change basically anything you want. It's not just a game, it's basically a second life you can live in a fantasy world. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. Nintendo basically reinvented open-world games with this masterpiece. You wake up in a massive world and can go literally anywhere from the start. Want to fight the final boss immediately? You can. Want to spend 100 hours exploring? Also totally cool. The physics engine is crazy. You can solve puzzles in ways the developers never even planned. Fire burns wood, metal conducts electricity, and you can use your abilities in super creative ways. The world feels like a massive playground where your creativity is the only limit. Each shrine is a mini puzzle that tests your brain and your abilities. The art style is gorgeous, the music is incredible, and exploring feels like a real adventure. It's not just a game, it's a whole world waiting to be discovered. Bloodborne. From Software's absolute masterpiece takes everything great about Dark Souls and makes it faster, bloodier, and way more intense. You're a hunter in a Victorian Gothic city that's been cursed by weird cosmic horror monsters. The combat is insanely fast. You've got trick weapons that transform mid-fight, and you can regain health by attacking immediately after getting hit. Each weapon feels totally unique, and the world is basically a nightmare version of Victorian England filled with cosmic horror. The story is super weird and mysterious. You're never totally sure what's happening, but uncovering the secrets feels amazing. Every boss fight is an epic, terrifying experience that'll make you scream, cry, and cheer when you finally win. The atmosphere is so thick you can basically taste the blood and madness. It's not just a game. It's a total experience that gets under your skin and never leaves. And there you have it. 10 absolute masterpieces that show why video games are an art form. These aren't just games, they're experiences that'll stick with you forever. Each one does something totally unique that changed gaming forever. Which one is your personal masterpiece? Drop a comment below, smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. This is GameUltra signing off.